Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the shop. Finally, we've got a little bit of work we can get done here today. Actually, we have a mountain of work we got to get done here today. We got some safety requirements that we have to meet for Linda. We got quite a few parts in for that, and I'll show you those here in a second. We've got 4 spare tires that we have to get mounted for the trailer. I'm going to take you along for the ride on that, show you how I do things here. And if you've been watching our Facebook and our Instagram, Homer's motor is back. It's here, it's in the shop. I'm gonna show that to you. We're gonna review a little bit what we're gonna do with that. Also, if you've been watching the Facebook and Instagram, we're gonna put not 1, but 2 superchargers on Homer's engine, which is gonna be sick. So we're gonna get back to America's favorite Cordoba here very soon. Okay, as far as the requirements that we have to meet for the Freedom Factory, the NHRA, and Linda, we have to have steel valve stems, so we're going to get those put on today. We have the new plug wires that are from DUI or Performance Distributors. If you remember a couple videos back, I showed you where they had got hot against the manifold and just burnt the wires to a crisp. So we finally had those handmade from Performance Distributor. They are here. We're going to get those put on the car. And then we ordered the new heat shrouds for those wires from Wire Care. So they sent us over a set of 8 of those that they were also going to get put on Linda. And then finally, we have to meet the requirements for the transmission. So we have to install a ballistic transmission cover or blanket or shield or however you want to put it. So we have to get that installed on Linda as well. So it's going to be a very busy day here at the shop. I'm going to take you guys along with me for the ride. So make sure to go ahead and take this opportunity to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that little notification bell, and if you don't mind, hit the little like button as well. Because now that summer is coming up on us, we are going to be extremely busy. As you know, if you've been watching our Facebook and Instagram pages, if you haven't done that, make sure to start today. Because we have got a lot going on this summer. We'll be at the Freedom Factory a couple times. We're going to be up in Indy. We're going to be at multiple drag events. We're going to be at multiple shows. I mean, we are just going to be everywhere this summer. And I will keep you all notified through those 2 platforms. Okay. Again, as far as the subscriber rides, if that interests you, I have a couple, but I'm waiting to get a few more so I can get these put in videos. So if you want to submit your project, again, send me 3 or 4 pictures and a little 100-word essay, if you will, or whatever, about your vehicle, and I'll come up with a little video of your project at the end of ours or at the beginning of our videos. So keep that in mind as well. If you're interested in any of the merch, shirts, hats, whatever, there is a video in my playlist that explains for you how to do that for now until we have the website done. So make sure to check that out. The shirts are $23. That goes from my racks to your back. Okay, I cover all the shipping, all the getting it there, getting it to you, just like I do anything else. That's on me. I have no problem doing that. All right, well, this is Busted Radio Garage. Let's get after it. Okay guys, as I explained to you before, this is my distributor setup for Linda, okay? It's the Performance Distributors DUI or Davis Unified Ignition, blah, 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 however you ever want to word it. Anyway, the wires themselves and the setup is good, but as any of you all know, with manifolds, they can be your best friend or your worst enemy, okay? And in this instance, for some of these, it's just my absolute worst enemy. And these old heat shields on here are either laying directly up on the manifold or up on side the headers themselves, or they're just completely old and the heat has just used up what life these provide as for protection. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna go ahead and replace all of the wires for the car and all the heat shields for the car. And any of the wires that are good, I'm just gonna save on them. We can keep them around here, take them with us, and if we have something, God forbid, happen, we have replacements. And the ones that are really bad, I'm hoping I can just ship them back and have them redone and get them back to me here. So I think what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna tackle that first. I'm gonna go ahead and get all of these wires out of here, you know, get all these looms undone, get all the wires out, get the new heat shields put in, new wires put in. If you watched the episode a couple weeks back, you see we've already done the plugs. We put a new set of Champion plugs in, so we're good there. So we're gonna go ahead and just get this wiring mess straightened up. And then I think what we're gonna do is we'll go ahead and take the 4 wheels and tires off Linda, put in the new steel valve stems that we have, which they're requiring. So we got those here, and here's the new wires from Performance Distributors. There's their information there if you want to check them out. And then Wire Care sent over the new heat shield. Now keep in mind, these are expensive. Okay, they're not cheap. I know you can find the ones on Amazon or the internet or whatever. They're like $6-8. These I believe are $160, $170. Now, I know some of you are like, well, that's crazy. Why would you spend that kind of money on them? Well, you get what you pay for in this world. It is what it is. You all know that. And I want as much protection as I can for Linda, especially when we're going to be out making, you know, like the hot rod power tours, what, 1,100 miles over the process of a few days. So, you know, I'm just going to give myself as much protection as I can, give Linda as much protection as we can. So we'll get started on this first. And I think we're gonna move on to the wheels and tires, get that out of the way. And then while we've got Linda up in the air, we'll go ahead and get that ballistic transmission blanket or cover put on. And I believe that's through Stroud. I have it right over here. So I'm sure this is gonna be absolutely fun to put on or install. But it is required. If I want to run at the Freedom Factory or Cleetus and Cars Indy or any NHRA event, that has to be on Linda 100%. So we're gonna go ahead and get that done. All right, let me get you set up over at Linda and we'll get started on that. We'll get some of this out of the way. We'll go ahead and get the spare tires ready for the trailer, and then we'll get you moved over and I'll show you Homer's engine and then what we're gonna do with that. That's gonna be super killer to do. He is going to be a beast. All right, hang tight. Let me get you spun around and we're going to get after it. All right, guys, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and start with these wires first. Now, granted, these have some real nice bolt-on looms. They go on the wires. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to work one wire at a time off and leave all these looms hooked up. And then when I'm said and done, I can pull this whole system out in one piece, remove the looms, and then come in here and put them on our new wires. Now these wires are super, super nice. I'm not sure if you can see this, but each wire is numbered to which cylinder and its placement on the distributor, okay? So it's super easy to do. These already come with a protective shield on them to begin with on the wire themselves. And to show you these, I know it's probably hard to see me. And then these protective sleeves that come from Wire Care. And I'm sure you've seen these before, but what I liked about these is these have the ability to lay right up against the header, and they have up to 1800 degrees of protection. Now I'm sure it's like anything else, they have a lifespan, and I'm sure once they start getting dry and brittle, we'll just go ahead and replace them. But I'm a firm believer in you get what you pay for. You know, I don't shop for the cheapest of cheap just because it's cheap. So I'm really looking forward to see how these work. And I know Wire Care is a super, super cool company to work with. So, all right, enough of the yapping. We're gonna start one wire at a time, get these off, and we'll remove all of this, put the new looms in, and we'll go from there. Hang tight, let's get after it. All right, we'll go ahead and get cylinder number 8 replaced first. So we'll just work our way around here, find 8. Which is right here. All right, we'll just set it out of the way. Get our new 8 wire here. Now this one here necessarily isn't going to require a boot or a protective cover. but I'm gonna go ahead and put it on anyway. That way it's there. There's no guessing that this could have happened or something could have happened with it. I'm just going to, I have it and I may as well install it. I almost forgot, dielectric grease. Make sure you use a little bit of dielectric grease on here. It'll help prevent the wires from sticking to the plugs. It protects from moisture, blah, 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 so on and so forth. I left it over there. Let me go get it real quick. If you haven't seen this before, I don't know if you can read that. I'll hold it still for just a second. This stuff is awesome to use, and I almost forgot to put it out in there. So we'll go ahead and get that. I just like to take a little bit of a dab, put it on my finger, and put it down here on the plug. And then the same up here on the distributor. Just like that. And then put everything back together. All right, there's number 8. All right. Now this one here is right up against the manifold. Or I'm sorry, I keep saying the manifold. It's right up against the header. Forgive me on that, I'm just an idiot. Let's see how bad this wire looks. Oh, well, yeah, did you see that? It just fell apart. Let me get this off here. Let me get you in here and show you this. I'm just gonna do this, pull you right off the stand and show you. And I believe this is a lot of the problem with Linda's performance. Now granted, she runs like you wouldn't believe, but I want you to look how bad that wire is. It's just falling apart, look, in my hand. So that is a huge problem. And what I'm hoping for, and I understand this has failed. You can see here on the heat shield, it is just at the end of its life. So we're gonna go ahead and put new ones on. And I'd say we're probably gonna blow through these rather often, but yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and get rid of that. Let me get you back up here on the stand. Linda runs really well, but I just felt we weren't getting the power that I think we should be out of her. And I really think that is a big part of our problem. So that is definitely an issue. So we'll go ahead and get 6. Replace. Man, that is just crazy how bad that is. So we'll go ahead and get 6 replaced. Get it up here on the distributor out of the way. So here's 6. I don't know if you guys can see that Daytona sitting back here in the corner behind me. That's going to be one of our projects for next year, assuming Homer is completely done and out of the way. We're going to do a little bit of something with that car. Now that's a 5-speed, all original car, belonged to a school teacher up in Michigan. And if I remember right, it's only got like 30 or 40,000 original miles on it. But it's a non-turbo car. I don't know what we're gonna do with it, but we'd like to do something with it. Want to run your shields here. It is a beautiful 75-degree day here in Kentucky. Beautiful out. Get to have the shop doors open, do a little bit of work, hang out with you fine people, and get back to the tracks where we belong. I'm hoping to meet some of you, if not all of you, sometime this summer, whether it be at Indy or Bradenton or some of the Mopar events, Hot Rod Power Tour even, somewhere this summer. Make sure you come out and see us. You guys can sit in Linda, get you some pictures, bring the youngins out, let them get a couple pictures. All right. All right, there's number 6. I'm not gonna bore you guys through this entire process talking through it. So I'll just go ahead and leave the camera on, and then maybe we'll do like a time lapse on it with a little bit of music or what have you. So just kind of hang tight. I'm gonna put the rest of these on real quick, and then we'll go from there. All right, guys, finally got these plug wires all changed out. Got all of the new heat shields put in. I think you can see that, or I hope you can anyway. And got this side over here. These are all put in. God help you on cylinder number 3. That is an absolute nightmare with changing the plug and getting these shields and wires in. I mean, it is crazy, crazy tight in there, but we got her done. So I think what I'm gonna go ahead and do now is change over and install this ballistic transmission cover. Go ahead and get that on, and then we'll focus on wheels and tires. And then I also forgot to mention, while I was at Indy yesterday, I picked up some window cranks. This one here, the huge, you know, these little spinny handle things break off. So I got some replacement window cranks for Linda, so we'll go ahead and get those put on today. But hang tight a second. I'll get you in underneath the car with me, and we'll try to get this cover put on. And then once we get this all done today, we'll go ahead and test on Linda a little bit. Maybe we'll go out there and just roast these tires off this real quick, because I got another set to put on for the burnouts. All right, hang tight a minute. Let me get you under the car with me. All right, guys, I got you under the car here with me. Hope we can see everything okay. So we're getting ready to install this ballistic transmission blanket or shield or whatever you want to call it. And I'm just going to shoot you straight. I've never put one of these in before. And by the looks of it, it's going to be an absolute nightmare. So we're going to give it a shot. I'm not 100% sure how fun this is going to be, but again, I have to have it. So let's take a look around under here and see what we got. I think the headers, our friends the headers, are going to be fun to get around, and I think, I'm not really sure it's going to fit, to be honest with you. I think it's going to be a problem. And then we got the transmission cooler lines that are also going to be in the way. So give me a second. Let me see if I can get this old girl wrapped in here, and I'll be right back with you. Hi guys, I think I've got her somewhat straightened out here. I had to remove some of the lines for the trans core. I think the linkage is going to be okay. The only problem I'm having is with the manifold on the other side, or the header on the other side. I think it's going to burn some of the ballistic cover. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get it in here, feed it in, get it locked down, and see where we're at with the headers. If that's the case, we'll get it on, get it in place, make sure it's going to fit, take it back off, and then we'll put it on the car and take it back off after each event, because I really don't think this material on here is burn resistant. But give me a second and we'll see what we can do with it here. All right, hang tight. All right guys, we got everything underneath the hood buttoned up. We've got the new spark plug wires, insulators to protect the wires from the headers. Got everything put back together. So now I'm going to move on to the rear tires. Rules state that the wheels had to be steel, no wheel weights, no center caps, none of that stuff. So what I'm going to do is use Homer's steel wheels and tires for the burnout competition. So right now is I'm gonna go ahead and jack up and remove the weld wheels, and then we're gonna try Homer's burnout tires on Linda and see how that works out. So hang on a second and we'll see how this works. All right guys, like I said, we're gonna go ahead and pull these aluminum wheels off because they're not required, they're not allowed at the burnout competition. We gotta have steel wheels. So we're gonna pull these off and put Homer's on and see if they'll work. It's gonna be close, I'm not sure. Homer runs a little bit wider of a tire. All right, like I said, guys, this is gonna be close. Homer runs a little bit wider of a tire. We're gonna see if these wheels will fit behind the body lines of Linda. I'm not 100% sure, but we're about to find out. All right, we'll let her down good and slow. Like I said, make sure these are gonna fit behind the body lines, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, we got about an inch or so clearance. All right, guys, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and switch out Linda's other side real quick. I think these are where we're gonna go ahead and run. They're within the requirements or regulations for the Freedom Factory or Cleetus and Cars or the NHRA for the requirements for the burnout competition. So let me get the other side switched out real quick, and then we'll go from there. All right, if any of you want to know what size tires these are, they are 295 50 15. Now for the purists or show guys out there, I don't want anybody to freak out. The weld wheels will go back on for events like the Power Tour and things of that nature. But for the burnout competition, we're going to be running these. Because these here we can waste and it's no big deal. May end up having to go for 265s in the back instead of these. This side here doesn't look like it's going to be near as forgiving for the wheel, but we'll find out when we get it on the ground. All right, we probably got a ½ inch, maybe an inch of room between the tire and the quarter panel on this side. Like I said, we probably got about an inch between the sidewall and the inner lip of the quarter. So we got plenty of room there on both sides for the burnout competitions. Them old steel wheels actually look pretty good on here. But we'll keep the welds, we'll put them back on, we'll go ahead and get them cleaned. We gotta change these over to steel anyway, because the rubber isn't permitted per NHRA rules. So, kinda is what it is. The only thing that I had purchased at the Mopar show in Indy yesterday was some window cranks, like I said earlier, because the ones on the car were bad. So I'll go ahead and install those real quick. That's my wife down there checking out the underneath of the car. So don't let your head up. So we'll install these window cranks real quick, and then we'll see what we can get into from there. Like I said, we got to change them valve stems, and then we got to put some spares on the trailer. So we got a little bit to do yet. All right, hang tight a second and we'll go from there. All right guys, what I love about old cars is stuff like this. You're not undoing a bunch of electronics or digital crap or whatever. So just got a star bit there. Your new crank just slides on. So like that. And then you just take, it's normally a Phillips head or something like that, but this here's got a little, let that focus, a little Allen wrench head. And just like that, a window crank is fixed. You're not, at new cars you got buttons and wires and relays and you got taken apart the door panel and all this nonsense. This is back when engineering made sense here. And boom. I don't know if you can see that going up and down. Simple as that. It's fixed. All right, so I'm gonna jump over here and do this other side real quick and we'll be done with it. All right guys, we've got Linda's tires ready for the burnout competition. We got new wires, new plugs. We got the door cranks fixed, which is irrelevant for the competition, but I just wanted one anyway. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna go out and test on Linda real quick, see if she runs any better. Might do a burnout for you. You'll just have to wait and see. Then we'll come in, we'll let Linda cool down, and while that's happening, we'll work on the dismounting and mounting the new radial tires, spares for the trailer, and then we'll get back to doing the ballistic blanket for the transmission for Linda. Not sure if that part will be in this video or not, but we're gonna try. And we'll see what other kind of shenanigans we can get into. Hang tight. Alright guys, like I said earlier, I'm going to change. I have 4 new radial tires over there for the trailer, and these are going to be used for spares or miscellaneous tires if I need them for winter or whatever when I don't want to run the Keystones on there. So what I have here is the Harbor Freight tire changer. It's a manual tire changer you can buy for like $100. I've used this for everything from trailer tires all the way up to the 295 50s that are on the back of Homer. So these do work. You have to be a little patient with them. Again, it's a Harbor Freight tool, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and change one of these bias ply tires, put a radial tire on, and kind of show you how I do it. Now, as usual, you follow the manufacturer's recommendations first of all, but this is what I do in my shop, just saying. Okay, so what you're gonna have is the tire changer. It comes with a big bar itself, but I prefer to use these. These are also Harbor Freight. They're 24-inch spoon bars. They're flat on one end, and they're spoon shape on the other, okay? And they do have a purpose for each side. And then my understanding is what I've been told, channel locks, or vice grips, I'm sorry, vice grips. It's my understanding that they're the greatest tool ever made. And I would almost have to agree with that. So we also use those. So let me get one on here and show you what I do. So first of all, obviously, you're gonna let all the air out of the tire. You don't want to do this with air in it. It's not gonna end well for anybody. I always put the back side of the wheel down because I don't want to take any chance on scuffing up the face, regardless of this, a mag wheel, what have you. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do, or I do, is I spray down the wheel with some kind of lubricant, okay? This here is just, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's car wash, gel, and some water. And you just wanna go all the way around the wheel and give it a little bit of lubrication, okay? And the tool itself has a little nipple down here that the wheel sets on, and then this is your actual breaker, okay? Your bead breaker. So you're gonna lay it down on here, take your bead breaker, and stick it right where your bead meets the tire. And then you're gonna take this bar they give you, and you're gonna go ahead and break the bead. Just like that. Spin it around to the opposite side, and do that again. Okay, so the bead's completely broke on the front. Now you're going to do the same for the back. Now this is where you want to be careful. Your wheel's not going to touch the ground or the concrete or whatever you're working on as long as you leave it on that hump. Spray down your back. Place your bead breaker where the wheel meets the tire. Break your bead. Spin her around, doing the same thing again. Okay, take your bar. Make sure your bead's good and loose. All right, you're done with that for now. I think I got one more section here. That must be a booger. All right, now it's number 3. Now on top here you have this section here. You're going to put that in the hole where your lug nut would go. That'll kind of hold the wheel in place when you're on top of the machine, on top of the tool. Line up your lug nut. Now you're gonna have this star fitting, or this retainer pin, or clip, or whatever it is. And then your lockdown pin. Okay, now that's firmly attached to the tool. Now this is where the spoon portion of this tool comes in handy, okay? You're gonna stick it in here where the bead meets the wheel. Make sure your bead's all the way down there. Where the bead of the tire meets the wheel. And you're gonna pry back, and it's already starting to break the tire loose. And then you're just gonna crisscross applesauce, if you will, all the way around the tire. And obviously this gets a little easier as it goes. Alright, now we're broke loose, okay? Okay, now for this, the back side of the tire, you're just gonna tilt it up. Okay, you're gonna take your spoon, you're gonna get a grip on it like so. And all you're gonna do is lift, and your tire's loose. Okay? Set it off to the side. Not gonna need that anymore. Okay, for your new tire, all the tires will come with a mark similar to this. This is where they approximately want you to line up your air valve with the tire, okay? So this side's gonna be our back. We're gonna go ahead and get a little bit of soap and water on here, same as the front. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna line it up. I'm gonna give her a good shove, get her nice and tight on there. Okay, you wanna try to line up your valve stem with that paint mark. And then you're just gonna grab your friends the spoon bars here. Again, use the spoon bar section. And what I do, until I can get the front section on, okay, line up your paint mark with your valve stem, get the spoon bar. You're gonna feed it where the bottom bead meets the wheel, and you're just gonna walk your tire on. Use your spoons and be careful, because the tire can get you. Okay, just like that. All right, guys, that's gonna be about as far as what we're gonna get done in the shop today. I got everything done with the exception to Linda's ballistic transmission cover. And I was honest with you from the get-go of this video today. I've never installed one of those before, so I'm gonna have to do a little more homework. I think the shift linkage is gonna be in the way of that. But unfortunately, I have to have it on the car. So I'm gonna have to figure out whether or not I need to drop Linda's transmission, what have you, to get that done. So, well, as promised, I'll go ahead and get on Homer. So if you watch our Facebook and Instagram, you know that Homer's engine come back yesterday. So I'll spin you around and show you that. It's still sitting on the stand from the pictures I showed you yesterday. So here he is. Here's his motor. Now, it was, as I explained to you in the post, it was 9 months to get this done. Now, it wasn't the builder's fault or anything of that nature. It was just a matter of waiting on parts. And then me changing things up a little bit. Because I started out with just a fresh build, and then when I started deciding what we was gonna do with Homer, I decided to go ahead and go all forged. So we've got forged crank, pistons, rods, the whole smash, aluminum heads, aluminum intake, deep oil pan, Moroso oil pan, heavy duty rocker springs. My God, the list goes on for days. So I'll get you the build sheet out on that. I'll actually post a picture of it on Facebook and Instagram once I get it here. I'm currently waiting on the torque converter now, which is going to be right around a 2800 to 3000 stall. And we're going to mount Homer's original 727 back to that. And then all of you that know or have been following the page for a while, reading the posts and whatever, we're going to go with not one but two torque twister superchargers. So we're going to have to get everything set up for that and get that ready. I'll go ahead and dig out the motor mount and trans mount kit from Energy Suspension. We're going to go ahead and get that ready. And then I still have to get Homer's rear end in his car and get him sent out for his full cage. I haven't done that yet either. Linda has taken up a lot of my time. That, and I started this channel pretty much at the end of fall and the dead of winter. So just kind of doing things around the shop with our personal cars here and taking you out on field trips to keep content coming until we can get on the track. And I appreciate each and every one of you that have been watching the video, subscribing, liking, commenting. I think we've done fairly well over the last couple of months, nearly 500 subscribers on winter content. I mean, come on, that's awesome. So we still have to get Homer's fuel cell, battery, all that good stuff in the trunk. Now keep in mind, we're coming into season, so Linda is already scheduled at half a dozen events, and we're gonna be at another dozen more on top of that with Linda and other cars. So Homer's gonna be kind of like when we get back off the road, we'll tinker with him a little bit, back on the road, come back, tinker with Homer a little bit more. So we'll try to get him ready maybe for a couple fall shows, you know, maybe where people can get out and see him, sit in him, take pictures, do what have you. But we'll just do the best we can. And in the meantime, we're just gonna take Linda out and roast as many tires as we can off the old girl. Other than that, guys, it's the same old stuff. If you're wanting some free stickers, 100% free, I even ship them to you. You know the deal. Send me over an email at bustedradiogarage@gmail.com with your info, and boom, I'll send them to you. If you need 1, 2, 3, whatever, we'll get those out to you. Still working on the website, trying to get that done. To be honest with you, I'm not a website guy. I have no clue what I'm doing, but I'm getting it figured out. In the meantime, those of you who are still wanting shirts, new hats, new ones are not ready yet, so we're gonna be on shirts. I've got them anywhere from medium to XXX in stock right now. 23 bucks from my shelf to your back. I cover the shipping and everything else. I've never ever charged anybody for that. I'm not going to now. If you haven't done it already, take this opportunity after this video to go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit the little notification bell, and shoot me a like if this video, if you want to see more like this video, or shoot a comment down below what you would like to see. My God, we are absolutely everywhere. We can do whatever you'd like to see. Some of you like to see shop content. Some of you like to go on the field trips. We're doing what we can to make everybody happy. But other than that, guys, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.